Hi, this is Lance Hood, and welcome to Better Businesses, where you can meet and learn from the companies that power the world's top brands. Today, we're talking with SEMrush, one of the industry leaders when it comes to their all-in-one marketing toolkit for digital marketing professionals. This tool is so effective, they have over 1 million users worldwide. For most people listening, this call is going to be one of the most important talks we've ever had. This tool will tell you just about anything you could ever want or need to know about your business, your competition, and people you had no idea were your competition. I've only used a small portion of what's available, and I'm completely fascinated with what it can do. SEMrush has been recognized by the US and UK Search Awards as the best SEO software suite and honored as a top company in Philadelphia Smart CEO's Future 50 Awards program. Today's guest speaker is Ashley Ward, a corporate speaker for SEMrush. Ashley, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Lance. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, everyone who's listening right now, we're about to get started, so go ahead and click on the link below and make sure that you use that specific link so that you can follow along and see what we're talking about. Ashley, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Certainly. So I'm coming from a journalism and PR background. I've been transitioned into digital marketing, playing with web design, social media, content marketing, and then kind of found myself touching in every aspect of digital marketing and was going into email marketing, landing page optimization, CRO, and all of that. So I went from there and started my own agency, had my agency for a little over 5 years, and then at the end of summer last year, joined with SEMrush. And so now what I do is I am a corporate speaker, and I go around teaching the latest and greatest in digital marketing to people, businesses, and brands all over the world.
What I like is you have all that experience. You know what you're talking about. So
Yes, definitely have to stay on top of all the updates because they're happening all of the time.
Yeah, I've noticed that. That's one of the things is it's so hard for people to really understand what's going on and what's changing so that they can make sure that they stay competitive and stay relevant. And so I think that talks like this are so important for everybody.
Exactly, and it's not just SEO anymore. I mean, I mainly focus on social media and content marketing, and the updates that are happening on that side of the spectrum, it's constant now.
Mm-hmm. Well, can you actually share some of the changes in the marketplace that contributed to the evolution of SEMrush?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's been quite a lot of changes that have happened within the industry. The industry has gone from being, I wouldn't say simple SEO, but mainly focused on SEO, and now every single aspect of digital marketing needs to touch on each other, which is why we're not just competitor data anymore. We are so much more than that. We're literally a one-stop suite. And so as times have changed and there's been more and more of a need to be able to integrate your content with your link data, your SEO with your social data, there's been a need for us to create more and more tools.
Mm-hmm. Who is SEMrush designed to help?
SEMrush is designed to help just about anyone and everyone within the industry. So this is not just a big corporate, you need to have a huge agency, large budget. This is literally helping the small mom and pop shops. It's helping the agencies, small, medium, large, and it's helping the big corporate brands as well. And so we have different scales of subscriptions to where it's basically trying to fit each person's individual needs for their business or their brand.
Yeah, and it seems like from when I've used it, and I've only scratched the surface on what it can do, it really just opens your eyes up to all the stuff that you never knew that you could find out about, what you need to be doing with your business, how people are finding your business, what they're interested in. To me, it's fascinating.
Yes, it truly is.
So how does SEMrush work, and why is it so important?
So SEMrush, in short, is a one-stop shop for all of your digital marketing needs. Whether you're an SEO, social media marketer, a PR person, we compile a large amount of data, your own data based on your own websites, your own rankings, things like that, as well as your competitor data. Then we also throw in paid advertising. So you have all of your different advertising research. We do a lot with link building, a lot with content marketing. So basically, if you're trying to develop strategies, if you're trying to stay ahead of your competition, or if you're trying to restructure strategies that were already developed and actually measure the results to see if what you're doing is working, you need this tool. This tool is going to allow you to do that, whether you're an SEO or a content marketer.
Mm-hmm. And, there's so much that this tool can do. Today, if we were to focus on the analytics report stuff so that people can get insights into, one, like you said, their competitors' strategies, display advertising, organic and paid search, and link building. Let's talk about, first of all, what is organic research and why is it important, and how can SEMrush help you with that?
Certainly. So organic research is that thing that everyone's trying to get. Organic research is your business, your website showing up on page one, showing up in the top results. And in order to do that, there's handfuls and handfuls of different tactics to have your website and your business organically populate. So one thing that SEMrush can do to kind of help you when you're trying to figure out, am I even showing up on page one? If not, what can I do? You can see what keywords that your competitors are using to get to that first or second result in search engines. You can also discover your new organic competitors that you probably didn't even know existed. And then you can also track any position changes for your domains over time. So if 1 month you're doing great organically, your website's populating for the keywords that you want, and then out of nowhere it takes a spike and it goes down, you need to be aware of that so that you can address those issues right away. So our data at SEMrush, using the different tools for organic research, is going to be able to tell you when those things happen.
Very nice. And organic research, when you type in a phrase like, plumber, Denver, Colorado, the people that show up at the top of the page, that's your organic setup. That's your words. So you can actually find what those words should be, and you can see where you are, where your competitors are, and help you get to the top so you get found. And then we have your advertising research. When they say advertising research, what sort of advertising are we talking about?
So we're talking about your PPC advertising, so your pay-per-click advertising, the advertising that you're going to do on the web. And we're talking about both yours and your competitor. So you can actually see your competitors' ad strategies, how much they're spending. What's really cool is you can see how long an ad's been running. So if your competitor's been running an ad for a couple of months, it's probably doing well. There's a reason they're running the same ad over X amount period of time, because it's probably earning them a lot of business. You can also analyze your online rivals' ad copies and their keywords. So this is where, if you're kind of stumped, you're just really not good at writing ad copy, you can kind of get ideas and get inspired by what your competitors are doing. And if you go from the ads that are running the longest, that's going to tell you, okay, this kind of ad copy or these kind of keywords are doing the best. I should probably try something like this for my own PPC ads.
Exactly. So what I'm actually saying is when you look for something on the web or Google, you'll see in the middle of the page there'll be like 10 results that are the organic, and then there'll be some paid ads that say the word ad on the top or to the left. And what she's saying is that if people are using an ad with the same words for a long period of time, it has to be profitable, because otherwise they would be losing money to keep running it. So you definitely can be inspired by knowing how to see what's working and then make your own version of that. And it's such a shortcut for you, because you're letting the people who were there before you spend their marketing dollars and spend a lot of time and energy creating that winning copy. And then starting today, you can make your own version of that on day one. And this is all available because of a tool like SEMrush that can really analyze that. How far back does it supply this data for, Ashley?
So you can choose the time length. So if you want to go back years, months, weeks, you can also choose the country. So if you want to see what their ad data is for a very specific country, you're able to do that. So a lot of our customers are working with international strategies, and that kind of data is really important for them.
Mm-hmm. So when you're changing country, the ads will change. You can see all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is pretty fascinating for anybody that's like, I don't even know where to begin. This is where you begin.
Yes, exactly.
You just take and look at what's working and mimic that. And so then the other thing too is that when you have the ad strategies, does it have the links so that people could click through and see what the website looks like that people are going to from that winning ad?
Yes, and you can actually see the full ad itself, so you get an idea of what it looks like, which is the coolest part. I mean, it's one thing if a template or Excel doc just populated, okay, here's the title, here's the keywords, here's the body of the ad copy. But no, you're actually seeing what the ad looks like, whether it's a display ad, a text ad. And so that kind of gives you that real life feel and lets you sit in the user seat for a second and see, okay, here's the data that's coming in from that ad. But allowing me to physically look at it may inspire me to do something differently.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, if somebody's getting started and they want people to find them online, that the way they find them is through the words that they're typing in to try to find you, and by being able to use what Ashley said, which is the words that people are typing that's causing them to go to your competitors. You could see the keywords that your competitors are ranking for and the keywords that they're spending money on. So it's not just the ads, but it's the actual words that people are searching that your competitors said, no, we're only going to invest money in these ads on these keywords. So you can now know the keywords. So now you know which keywords your company should be targeting, meaning that targeting for either putting ads up, which you can, model, or which ones you want to put up organically so that you can start drawing people to your site. So really letting the people who were there before you create the mold that you then follow in your own way is so useful. You don't have to invest the time, money, and not knowing, because I think that one of the biggest things people run into as they grow their businesses, I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get started, but it's all here. I mean, literally this one tool, that's why I'm so impressed with it. This one tool. It has all this data about where to begin, and it's not like you're trying to, kind of like sneak peek at your competitors, but you are getting an idea on where you should be. So you don't really have to have any previous knowledge. You can pull it all out here, and you can see all the different competitors and then see what all of them are doing and get the general consensus or idea that really helps you shape what you're doing.
Yeah, it's perfect because it really doesn't matter if you're new to SEO, you're new to PPC, you're new to content marketing. By diving into this tool and kind of getting comfortable with the reports that you see, the data that it pulls back, you're going to learn so much about SEO, and you're going to be doing it firsthand. And that's one of the best parts, is that you're not only going to be bettering your business, but you're also going to be bettering your experience with the amount of data that you collect.
Mm-hmm. And it's a really good tool for somebody who's a small business owner that has a person that wants to help them with marketing, to make sure that person is going in the right direction. Because anybody can really look at these reports and know instantly. And you can see the volume of words. So your competitors are using all these words and ads, but you can actually see how many times each month people are looking for this, which now you know where you want to put your energy. And you can also see how competitive they are. So look, here's some words that are exactly what your customers are looking for, and there's not a lot of people competing on them. So you can and you get the opportunity to understand, are they not competing because there's just a little lower volume, so they're not going after them, and those will be easier to get and easier to get customers on? Or is it because people have tried it and they're just finding looky-loos? So you have a commercial intent here, right? Which means that there are words that people type in when they're just kind of like curious, or they're just looking around, they're exploring, they're surfing, or there's words where people are typing in where they're looking to make a purchase. Do you have that on there?
In a way. I mean, without doing that in that black and white, yes. And we take it one step further, and what people are searching for on mobile is completely different than what they're searching for on desktop. And so we're able to give you that data as well. And just think about your own user behavior. when you're typing something on mobile, you're looking for like a very quick solution. You're with your family and you're looking for a restaurant to go to, or something just happened and you want the answer to a question that someone's asking you. Whereas if you're on desktop, you're going to have more of a longer keyword search. You're going to use a few more words than you would on mobile. You're probably going to browse a couple different search options. So by being able to have that mobile data, you're able to optimize your strategies for both mobile and desktop users.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm just going to start running my business from my mobile versus my desktop. I'll get more done.
You really should. Everything's going that way.
Let's see. So we talked about organic research. We talked about advertising research. Can you touch on the display advertising?
Yes, definitely. So on your display ads, these are the ads that are the big graphics on websites, or you're reading through a blog post and there's a graphic that you can click on, and it's an advertisement that takes you to an external website generally. So for that, with our data, you can basically see what the top publishers are, what their ads are. You can, again, analyze your competitors' display ads. You can also see new publishers that are popping up in the space. So it's kind of like the idea of watching your competitors. Well, watching what's coming up in terms of display ads, who's becoming a main competitor as far as the publisher. And then you can also see the displays on different devices because, again, your mobile experience is going to be completely different than your desktop. And usually, if you're advertising well, you'll change your advertisement for that and to reflect whether it's a desktop or mobile app.
And so when you say display advertising, are you talking about, like, say I'm on a website and I see a picture and it's someone smiling and there's some words that says, come visit this place, and I see this picture, like an image, and that's a display ad, or the image that goes across the top of the screen like a banner?
Yes, exactly. We're seeing this more and more happening within content, and so publishers within content are choosing which type of advertisements they want to be breaking up their blog posts, and so people are getting a little bit more strategic about it.
Mm-hmm. So now not only do I know the words, do I see the ads, but now I can even see the displays of the images that people are using over time so that I can now model that. I mean, this just seems like so simple. Like if I see a sentence here and I know that sentence is winning, I can reword that sentence in the voice or tonality of my company's messaging, and now I have a really good shot at having a top winning ad like the same day.
If you're a beginner and you're just looking into this and you really don't even know where to start with a graphic designer and what a display ad should look like, this is going to give you all of that info. This is going to tell you, well, display ads with this color is doing the best because you're going to be able to visually see them.
Right. And so if you have somebody that helps write your ads, you just point them here. Like, be inspired by this because this is working. Don't do some crazy stuff out of left field. I mean, you can, but I want you to start by knowing that this is working for our exact type of product. Or if you have a person that's going to make your images for you, or, you know, you're like, hey, listen, this is one of the top ads. It's been around forever. It's everywhere. It's all over our keywords. This is a good ad. Make something that reflects our company, but it's similar to this, or versions that are similar so that you can test it so that you really don't have to guess. And that question of I don't know where to begin is really eliminated through SEMrush. I love that.
Exactly.
Now that we've talked about really being able to see what's out there and actually know that it's working so that you can make your own version of it. So Ashley, so now that we've talked about, you know, the organic research, the advertising research, the display advertising, and all this, you can see it, you can know what it is, where to begin on day one. Now, can you explain what are backlinks and why are they important? Because I know that you address this in the reports.
Yes. So backlinks are huge for helping improving your rankings. And so that's, again, you showing up on the first page when people are searching for that plumber. So a backlink is kind of like you can think of it like a vote for your website's trustworthiness. And the more votes it has, the more search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing can say, hey, we trust that this website is not going to be spammy, that a lot of other people are pointing to it and linking to it, So it's popular. So, hey, we're probably going to increase your rankings with that. So with one of our many tools within the tool is our backlink checker. And so in here, you can actually do a very deep link analysis to pull up all of the links that are pointing to your website. Some of them aren't good. Some of them you want removed right away. And so you can go in and you can contest to have them removed. You can also see, okay, this website is the one that is pointing to me. I don't want them to send me a link. So here's, I'm going to go ahead and contact this website, make a note inside the tool that I'm working on resolving this, and you can update it over time. You can also see your links geolocation, and you can figure out what the referring domain's authority is. So if you're unsure if a backlink that's pointing to you is good or bad, you can check the website that's pointing the link to you and see, okay, they have a high domain authority. I may not be familiar with their website, but their domain authority is great. So they're clearly doing something right. I want them to send me a backlink.
So what you just said is really good, and I want to clarify for people. So having a backlink is like another website or another page on the internet is pointing to your site, kind of referring people, going, hey, look at this site. So you want people to point to your site, and you want people, like you said, of high credibility. So if you had a mainstream news source pointing to your site, or something that is considered very credible by the search engines, that makes your site look better, and it makes you show up higher in the search engines. But you're saying that there's links that you have nothing to do with, where there's people that might be pointing to your site, and these links or backlinks that are pointing to your site, you don't want them pointing to your site, and you want to make sure that search engines realize that, hey, I didn't ask these people to point to my site. I don't want this pointing. Please remove it. Can you explain how that happens?
Yes. So the reason why it's bad is because it's generally a spammy tactic. And so whether you're on the side that's pointing the link or on the side that's getting the link, they'll mass produce these URLs, and they'll just basically on their website try and filter all these hyperlinks going to different websites to try and build up their own website. Usually it's all just for spam purposes. Very rarely will you see in these bad circumstances that, no, I could probably work with this. I just need to reach out to them and I want them to point to a different page, or I want them to change the text that they're hyperlinking. But generally, if it's a bad scenario, it's always going to lead back because it's a spammy practice and they're overusing their amount of links. And so you're falling into that funnel, and that's something that you need to be aware of. If anyone's doing that to your website, that's going to affect your rankings. That's going to affect what number you turn on to for a search engine result.
Right. So you might have these links pointing to your site right now, and they could be the reason that your site is not being elevated in search engines. It could be the reason that you're way down on page 6 versus being at the top of page 1, and you don't know it, you don't realize it, you didn't ask for it. So that's why it's so important that you have a tool that can just analyze your site and go, boom, hey, here's some dangerous links. Here's how you get rid of them or report them so that they don't affect you and they don't affect your business because you didn't ask for them.
Exactly. You can work really hard, get it all cleaned up, and then next week all of a sudden get another bad backlink to you. So it's something that you can't just do one and done. You need to do it very regularly.
I could see that because, I mean, if they're on your site and you didn't ask for them, you don't know if you're going to get another batch of them today. You just don't know. And so by regularly checking this and getting rid of those, you keep your reputation clean, you keep your website working, and things like this can help your website perform and grow just like it's supposed to. It's crazy that you're out here trying to do good things and you don't realize all these little things that could be affecting you that you didn't ask for and you have nothing to do with. So it's just nice to have someone come through and clean things up, and this reporting feature to help you with that.
Exactly.
Ashley, we've really talked about, got into keyword research and stuff, phrases and stuff. Can you just explain for people when we're looking for keywords, which is the things people are typing in, so that they can find a solution, which could be you, and there's general terms that are just open-ended terms, and there's very specific terms. Like, so there's what they call long tails, and then there's your other ones. Can you explain the difference?
Yes, certainly. So Your keyword terms are going to vary dramatically based on what you're trying to rank for. So if you're a plumber in San Diego, you want to focus on words that are similar to what people are going to search for when they look for plumber in San Diego. And so that could be long tail keywords, which what that means is just a long list of keywords. So instead of 2 to 3, you're looking at 3 to 5 different words that people are typing in. And then you also have your phrase match and your related keywords. So with our SEMrush keyword research feature, you're going to be able to find the right keywords for your SEO and your PPC campaign, because you need to do keywords for your PPC campaign, not just your organic. You can also gather your phrase matches and related keywords. You're going to get your long tail keyword info. It basically provides a lot of, if you type in plumbing in San Diego, it's going to give you a list of here are other relevant keywords that people are searching for that you should also be including in your content on your website as well as in your ads.
Right, and what actually means with long tail is you have keywords that might be plumber or leaky pipe, but then you have long tail keywords which might be a longer string of words, meaning like I need my shower pipes fixed fast, a long string of words. Those are people that aren't they generally, if it's a long, very specific string of words, those people are, there's less volume because there's less people that type that exact phrase in, but it's a very targeted phrase that is generally really effective for finding customers.
Yes, those are usually users who have intent. They're coming for a very specific search. They need an answer. They need a solution. And so they know exactly what they're asking.
Can you explain the difference for people between, so somebody gets this list of keywords, and keywords are they're just terms people type into the internet. They're trying to find information, so they type this into their phone or their laptop. But there's keywords where people are just kind of fishing and surfing, and then there's keywords where somebody's looking to make a purchase. Can you explain to people so they can identify the difference between the two when they're looking at a list of terms?
Yes, it comes back to your user intent. So think of your own user experience. When you're typing something in and you're looking for a plumber in San Diego, are you typing in kitchen plumber in San Diego open 24 hours? Or are you just looking for a plumber in San Diego? You're going to have both of those searchers looking for your website, for your business, for the solution. So you need to have both sets of keywords, whether you're looking for the long tail keywords that are more of the direct user intent, they're searching for something very specific. And then you also need to have the softer keywords that are more open, they're broader. You're going to be competing with more businesses, but you need to still have those terms and that terminology on your website.
Right. And so like maybe a difference when, I know we're doing a lot of plumbing examples here, but maybe the difference is like if somebody types in cool new faucet, that versus buy X brand faucets, where do I buy this? So they're actually, versus just hunting, they're actually going, I'm looking to spend money. Like I need to make a purchase today. So those are words that definitely have a commercial intent. People are looking to make a purchase. So those are great words to target, especially I assume that's even more so with your pay-per-click, because you're going to get a quicker return on investment. You're spending money with the search engines to have an ad placed, and you definitely want to turn around and make a sale right away. So one last thing, product listing ads.
Yeah, definitely. So product listing ads are your cost per click ads through AdWords. These are the ads that are going to appear on Google search pages to the left and at the top of results. So you can tell the difference between a product listing ad and a regular ad because it's going to feature an actual product image, and it's going to be tailored to products and product categories. So if you are in the shoe business and you're selling shoes, you're going to want some product listing ads to appear when people type in boots. You want your images of your boots to be displayed in these product listing ads, so that when they click on the image, they go to your website and they can shop. So with SEMrush and our product listing feature, you can basically define your competitors on Google Shopping. So you can see who else is selling boots. You can discover how many keywords you and your competitors have in common. So if you need to change it up and get a little bit more competitive because you're competing so much with your competitors, you can also see the number of keywords that trigger your competitors' PLAs to appear. So if they have a specific keyword set that's constantly making their ads appear and yours aren't, you can get that data. And then you can also estimate competitors' spending on AdWords compared to their PLAs. PLAs, products and listing ads.
Excellent. Ashley, do you have a customer experience that you can share with us?
Yeah, definitely. One of the ones that first comes to mind is the story about an Italian brand. I'm totally going to butcher the name, so forgive me on it, but Cotinelle. So they basically, their objective was they wanted to increase their international organic traffic, and they were able to do so using SEMrush by 25%. So basically, to take it back a little bit, they are selling products internationally, but they really want to focus on the U.S., UK, and Germany markets. So they wanted to kind of get a little bit more non-Italian customers and really increase their website traffic coming from the US, UK, and Germany. So they signed up for SEMrush, and they used our organic research tool, our advertising research tool, and our site audit tool. 4 months in, they were able to basically accomplish their goal by achieving an average of 25% boost in organic traffic coming from those three regions, the US, the UK, and Germany. And then on top of that, they were able to get over 30 generic keywords ranked from the first to the third pages of Google. So they were able to get onto page one, which is what everyone's goal is.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. You know, for anybody that thinks that, you know, they don't know where to begin, I continue. Like, this is where I've used the tool for years. This is where we begin. This is how we stay current, and that's it. It's where we begin and how we stay current. I really believe in this. So, excellent story, Ashley. What are the typical questions people have when it comes to getting started with SEMrush?
It's usually not a lot of questions. It's more so they need time to play around with it. So we have so many tools. So you need to prioritize, okay, what's the most important objective for you? If you're getting it for an agency and you want multiple different departments of your agency to use it, it's going to be very clear, okay, the SEOs are going to focus on things like the site audit and organic research. And then the content team is going to focus on the content tools. Social is going to focus on our social tools. But if you're just starting out, your mom and pop shop, your business that wants to really focus on their SEO now, really get a digital marketing strategy going, the first part is just diving into the tool and seeing the different aspects and then figuring out what are your main goals with using this tool. Do you want to improve your rankings first? It's something very specific that the Italian brand did is they said, okay, I want my international organic traffic to increase, and I want it to increase for these 3 territories. And that's what they went in, and by using 3 different tools in SEMrush, we're able to do that. So I'd say that the first thing you really need to do before diving into the tool is figure out what is your primary objective with the tool. And then from there, start diving into the different tools to see which is going to help you achieve that the fastest and long term.
So if I think really, high level people that are familiar with this, they'll get it. It's a no-brainer. But if somebody is just getting started, a lot of what we said may have seemed cool, but they may go, I just don't even know what to do after we get started. So I just say, click on the link below the video. There's tons of information there. You'll be following along with exactly what we're talking about. But for people who are just getting started, who are new, that go, I don't even know where to start with this tool that helps me know where to start. Mm-hmm. What sort of support do you have available for people to learn to use the tool or learn where to begin or what all is available to them?
We actually have quite a lot of support. It's pretty amazing, our support team. We even have an academy to where you can go through training on how to use the tool. And I would highly recommend that for anyone just starting off with SEMrush, because even if you're highly experienced, you know what you're doing, you've been doing SEO for a while, there are so many parts to this tool that you may not even knew that you had access to, or that you can get this type of data for. So I definitely recommend going through a full demo, going through some of our courses. Throughout different parts of the tool, there's always going to be pop-ups that say, hey, is there something that we can do better on this tool? Do you have questions on this tool? How can we improve this? Are we missing anything? And without you having to leave to go submit a support ticket, you can just type in that box, submit it, then it's sent over to our data team, our IT team, and we're constantly improving the tool. We're constantly trying to improve our support as well to get these questions answered, to add different things to the tool that people are requesting.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm familiar with is your guys' commitment to constantly make things simpler, easier, better, more effective, and then continuously add the newest things that need to be there depending on what's happening with the times.
Yeah.
And if somebody needs to get support, you have all of that. You have the trainings and webinars, so it's all there. So let me ask you something. How long does it take for someone to get started, and how long does it typically take for people to see results? And I know this is going to be all over the board, but just give us some scenarios and some ideas.
Okay, so to get started, it's basically how fast it takes you to type in your domain or a keyword on our homepage. So it's incredibly simple to get set up and to get a trial. Past that, you're going to need to analyze, okay, what account level is going to be right for me? Should I go with the pro, guru, business? They all have access to different things, and they're going to be dependent upon your team size too, how many user accounts you need. So that's kind of after you've gotten in, you've played around, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to commit. I want even more data than what the free trial is giving me. I want even more access to the newer tools. That's the next step past there. As far as how long until you see results, there's no black and white answer on this. It really depends on what results are you trying to see. What's your goal? For the Italian brand, it only took them 4 months, which is an incredibly fast time to see a 25% increase in their rankings, dramatically fast. In other instances, if you're looking for something that's not as black and white, such as increase in 3 different territories, you could just be wanting to use the social media portion and get the social media metrics as well as schedule your social media post out. So that's a kind of an indirect goal. That's more of a task. So it really depends on what you're using the tool for.
Mm-hmm. And I really see SEMrush as something that, you can use for your own business, but honestly, SEMrush could be something that becomes your business. I could see SEMrush something that an agency could use to advise and consult their clients and help find all these keywords, backlinks, proven ads, this and that. You could really almost run an entire business just as a user at SEMrush, applying what you learn from the tool to your clients.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to encourage everybody listening again, go ahead. You can click on the link below. You can see what we're talking about and how it will help you.
I definitely recommend, even if this was at all overwhelming, a lot of info, anything like that, I definitely recommend reaching out for a demo, reaching out for a trial, kind of let someone walk you through it if it did feel a little bit overwhelming. But otherwise, I think it's going to be really, really helpful for you.
Exactly. And, like Ashley said, getting started isn't that complicated. Once you're set up, literally just typing in the domain of your website or a keyword is all it takes, and then you just push the button on the side and boom, it just fills you with all this knowledge of everything you would need. So very simple to get started, but then there's so much more that you can use. In fact, so much more that we only touched on just a spot of it. We'll come back later and we'll go into more detail on more of the functionality. So thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you, and we'll talk again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Lance. This is great.